Alright guys, JDSP here, back with another video. This one will be about how to analyze HDR footage, whether it's from a game, whether it's from a film, whether it's from PC, PlayStation, Xbox. As long as the footage is in HDR and we have the ability to record it, we can analyze it. So first things first, I'm going to start off with some footage from the PlayStation. So in this folder I've got a bunch of PS5 games. I've recorded them in HDR. The console has been set up to use HDRG. If the games are HDRG compliant, we will find out with the analysis. So let's go with Demon Souls first. Open the video in a player of your choice that is HDR supported. VLC does it, MPCHC with Mad VR does it, Windows 11's built-in player does it if you pay for the codec, but VLC is free, it works, so I'm just going to use that for now. The first thing we are going to be using when you're analyzing footage is a feature of the Windows Xbox game bar, which is its HDR screenshot ability. So we're going to go into the take a footage and go to a part of the game where you think that there is, a good range of highlight detail, shadow detail, so you can properly see what's going to be happening with the footage. So at the end of this footage, I know I look up at the sky, I should have my character should be in a silhouette, so it should be really dark. The sky should be really bright because the sun's behind it. What we're going to do, click on the window that you want to analyze, and then press Windows, Alt, and Print Screen. They'll have like a really small flash around the border of the window you're capturing, and then a pop-up should come up saying screenshot saved. This screenshot will be put into your video and capture folder. So if you go to your videos and then go to captures, you have two images. One is the HDR image in a JPEG XR format, and the other one is the same image but tone mapped down. Now the magic of this whole thing is to use the software called HDR plus WCG Image Viewer. This is just a HDR Image Viewer. It has a bunch of other little things that's kind of useful, but the main thing for our use case is that it tells you an estimated brightness, which is actually very accurate, and it gives you a heat map, which I have taken a decent amount of time to go through and compare the heat map to known values, and then give you like a nice gradient so you can visually understand what's going on. So in the software, open up the HDR image, and it will give you a max estimated brightness. For this one clip, it is 1800 nits, and you can have no effect if the content you're looking at is very bright. The HDR tone map will tone map the HDR image down to your display's EDID max luminance. For the most part, just leave it as no effect if you're doing like back and forth comparisons. You can draw SDR as grayscale, which is kind of useful. I haven't found much of a use for it, but the main thing we're here is for luminance heat map, and this just assigns each luminance value of the pixel to a RGB value, like a color, so you can easily see what's dark, what's really bright. Now this estimated max COL value, whilst it is very accurate, it is not accurate down to it's dependent on how big the pixels are. So if you've got one or two, maybe like 5 by 5 pixel bits that are really bright, this won't catch it. Hence I've made this heat map so you can easily see what is meant to be what. From black all the way to about yellow is SDR, and you can also like cross-reference this back with draw SDR as grayscale. Most of the sky is grey, all the background is like the mountains, and the character is grey because it's all very dark. And if you were to do the luminance heat map, dark blue all the way up until we're touching yellow is SDR, and it's SDR on the heat map I've made. As you can see, the sky touches this orangey purple values, and they're really bright. If we were to pick another game, so if we were to go to Ghost of Tsushima, we were to open that game up and go to a section where I had the sun and the character in view. You can take another Windows, Alt, Print Screen, takes a screenshot, saves it in the captures folder, go back to HDR Image Viewer, open up the the Ghost of Tsushima screenshot, and it will give you a max estimated brightness and like all the other information you want. Go to the luminance heat map, and you can see that lots of the pixels are dark blue. None of it black, because it shouldn't be black. There shouldn't be anything that's completely black in this scene. And you can see the sun isn't hitting these purple values because the max estimated brightness is 900 nits ish. The game may be HDRG compliant, kind of. But you can, if you don't know, if you don't want to go back and forth and changing system settings and then going back into the game, you can just take a video, take a screenshot, run it through the software. I'll put this image as like a host in the description, and you can do some back and forth comparison. Now, it's not just used for gameplay. You can also use this for films. So here I have everyone's favorite Blade Runner. This film is not a HDR film, despite anyone telling you it's a HDR film. And you can see this quite evidently at the beginning. Or we can go right here, right? So character, there's lights, kitchen. You would expect lights to be very bright because the lights. It's a HDR film. They're going to be pushing all the dynamic range you can. So again, Windows Alt Print Screen, take some capture of it, go back to the software, open up the image in the image viewer, and you have a max estimated brightness of 160 nits. Now, I don't know about you, but that's not HDR. You go to luminance heat map and nothing's outside of yellow. There isn't even a pixel that's orange. Maybe thinking, but Joe, there's like surely other scenes that are much, much brighter than this. You go to the beginning, you've got the sun. It's completely blown out of these windows. These windows should be super, super bright. Take another screenshot, go back, analyze it, 160 nits. So yeah, Blade Runner is not a HDR film. If you were to go, I've got a bunch of other films here. I have to pick one top of my head that I think would be HDR. Mad Max. We know Mad Max is a HDR film. This has got some 4000 nit plus content. Right here, fire in the background, sun, shadow. Take a screenshot of this. Open this up in the software. 2400 nits. Do the luminance heat map, and we compare it back to our my image we've got right here. You can see the fire is hitting this orange color. You can see that underneath the car we're hitting a really, really dark blue, almost black. There's really, really high amounts of dynamic range in this film, and you don't have to go through and have a Canon reference monitor or pay lots of money for software to analyze this for you. You can do this all for free with Windows Game Bar HDR capture, this image footage, and this image viewer, and you're all good. You can use this, as I said before, for the Xbox, for the PlayStation, for PC, for films. You can't use it for Netflix because you can't screenshot or record Netflix because of the DRM issue. If you were to download content from Netflix, somehow you can then run it through the analysis tool, but then you have to bear in mind that is Netflix doing anything funky with the signal when it's being recorded? Is the place you're getting it downloaded from doing anything funky with the signal? You don't know. But as I said, you can do this with anything that's in HDR, YouTube videos, everything. If it's HDR, you can record it, you can do this, and you'll get your values, and then you can inform yourself on how good or not the HDR is in the content you're watching. Anyway, that should be the video. Sorry for how messy it is. It's not going to be nicely edited. It's just a quick one to how to analyze HDR footage. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.